The kingdom, once a beacon of hope, now a city shrouded in shadow. Towers claw at the sky, monuments to a forgotten prosperity. Below, decay festers. The streets reek of fear and despair. The heart of the city, once vibrant, is now a haunted shell. Whispers of the past linger in the crumbling facades, ghosts of laughter and light. But the laughter is gone, replaced by the gnawing silence of dread. The air itself feels heavy, thick with the stench of decay and the cloying presence of magic gone awry. It seeps into the very stones of the city, a constant reminder of what was lost. The kingdom is dying, slowly consumed by its own shadow. It began subtly, a shimmer at the edge of perception. Then, cracks in reality, fissures in the veil that separated the mundane from the monstrous. Creatures of myth and legend spilled into the world, their hunger a tangible force. Panic gripped the kingdom. The creatures, grotesque mockeries of nature, reveled in the chaos. They surged through the streets, their eyes burning with an alien hunger. Blood stained the cobblestones, a testament to the city's swift descent into chaos. The authorities, ill-prepared and overwhelmed, crumbled. Their weapons, useless against the creatures' magic, fell silent. The city, once a bastion of order, descended into anarchy. The kingdom was at the mercy of the creatures from beyond. Hesher Henson was a survivor. In the labyrinthine alleys of the kingdom, he moved like a phantom, a fixer, a dealer in information and favors. He knew the city's underbelly like the back of his hand. The invasion changed everything. Hesher saw opportunity in the chaos, a chance to reshape the city in his image. He was cunning, ruthless, and utterly devoid of fear. The creatures, he realized, were not just monsters. They were players in a game of power. Hesher began to gather allies, forging alliances with those desperate enough to follow him. He learned the creatures' weaknesses, exploiting their vulnerabilities with a chilling pragmatism. He understood that in this new world, power resided with those who could adapt. And Hesher Henson was nothing if not adaptable. Hesher's influence grew like a creeping vine. He cultivated a network of informants, his whispers weaving through the city's shattered heart. He learned the language of fear and how to wield it as a weapon. His methods were brutal, his decisions driven by cold calculation. Mercy was a luxury he could no longer afford. To survive in the kingdom, one had to be crueler than the monsters that stalked the night. He brokered deals with the creatures themselves, playing factions against each other. He learned their desires, their hierarchies, their vulnerabilities. Each bargain, each betrayal solidified his position. Hesher was becoming a force to be reckoned with, a king in the making. Brianna was a problem, a beacon of defiance in a city cowed by fear. The leader of a band of human survivors, she opposed Hesher's methods, his willingness to deal with the creatures. Their first meeting was a clash of wills, a study in contrasts. Brianna, with her unwavering faith in humanity, saw Hesher as a monster in the making. He, in turn, saw her as an obstacle, a threat to his carefully constructed web of power. Yet there was a grudging respect between them, a recognition of the other's strength. Their interactions were a dangerous dance, a constant negotiation between necessity and morality. Hesher needed Brianna's influence, her connection to the remaining human populace. Brianna, in turn, needed Hesher's resources, his knowledge of the creatures to keep her people alive. The kingdom was no more. In its place stood something else, a city forged in the fires of chaos. Hesher Henson sat at its heart, a king crowned in ashes. He had tamed the city, bent it to his will, but at a terrible cost. His rule was absolute but uneasy. The creatures were fickle allies, their loyalty bought and paid for in blood. Brianna remained a thorn in his side, her defiance a constant reminder of the line he had crossed. The city had found a new equilibrium, a terrifying harmony between predator and prey. But the peace was fragile, a house of cards built on a foundation of fear and compromise. The kingdom was gone, but the battle for its soul had just begun.